welcome back. Today I'm showing you 3 different knit scrap busters to try. They are super easy and will get your scraps busted in no time. I will leave a bunch of links in the description box below, as well as the coordinating blog post to this video. Make sure you subscribe if you like it and want to see more like this. Give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment letting me know your favorite knit scrap buster, because I'm always on the lookout for more. What do you think of my new intro? So we're going to start with the Hippie Headband. Start with a long piece of fabric. I will leave the measurements in the description box. Fold right sides together and sew all along the long edge, leaving about a 1 or 2 inch gap near one end. This is going to make the magic tube technique, and you will see why we call it that near the end of this tutorial, because it really is like magic on how it works. So once you have it all sewn up on that long side, use a loop turner or a safety pin. I will link my loop turner in the description box below. It has literally been a lifesaver. I use it all the time. So you're going to turn it halfway inside out, halfway right side out. I'm not sure. What do we call it? Let me know. And you're going to keep turning until the 2 short ends are matched up, making sure that nothing is twisted and the seam is lined up all the way along. Up around that teeny tiny little loop. I find it's best to just sew a little bit, lift my presser foot, readjust, set it back down, and sew some more, and repeat that process until it's all sewn up. It's important to catch every bit of fabric, but don't worry about it looking pretty because it's going to be hidden inside. And next you just pull everything out through that little gap we left, and that is your magic tube. Next, slip stitch or machine stitch your opening close. I recommend slip stitching just because we will be centering the seam along the back, so it will lay a lot flatter if you stitch it by hand. And then just center that seam along the back and press it flat. And next we're going to be tying this. So if you need it written out, I will have the instructions on my blog post. You can check that out in the description box below. So just hold it like a steering wheel, make an infinity sign, pulling one circle behind the other, and then take the innermost sides of the circle and pull them through the opposite circle. It's really hard to explain. Just check this out. And then keep pulling until it makes the knot there in the middle, and just kind of adjust and fluff it out as you need to. And then turn those circles so one is in front of the other. You'll notice that the center knot can actually form a loop as well, and the looser you make that loop, the tighter your headband will be. And I really like to have the loop loose and the headband tight for when I'm working out, because it really helps to prevent slippage. And then you just play with it and adjust it until everything is laying flat the way you want it. Here is a close-up of the finished product. It's so versatile and fun and easy to use. It's great if you're a busy mom on the go, or if you just want to take some chill time and not do your hair. Great for working out. I like to spin that knot to the back. And it's also great for dressing up those more casual or plain outfits for date night or girls' night. Next is the scrap bag toss. Cut 2 squares of equal size. I'm using 4-inch. So all the way around, leaving about a 1 or 2 inch gap on one side for turning and stuffing, and then you will do just that. I'm filling mine with fabric scraps, but you could also use beans or rice or potpourri. You could also put some essential oils in this and use it as sachets in your gym bag or your mudroom. And then you're just going to sew up that gap using a slip stitch or machine stitch again. And then do whatever you want with these. My kids are enjoying using them with their dump trucks and their diggers, hiding them around the house, throwing them to ice cream pails. They're really enjoying the creativity of this open-ended toy. Next is this newborn set, and the hat is actually from How She Does. I will link it in the description box. And the only adjustments I have made to this is the cuff. I like using a one-piece cuff, and I made it a little bit wider. You can get all of that information in my blog post as well. The mitts that I'm going to be talking about here in a minute are actually developed by me, and you can get the free template by signing up for my newsletter, which of course I will leave linked down below. So just take the template and trace out 2 pieces per mitt, lay the pieces right sides together and sew all the way along, leaving the bottom open as the opening for the mitt. I prefer to serge the opening edges just to give it a nice finished look, but you definitely do not have to do that. So now I'm just going to measure 1.5 inches up from the bottom and put a mark so I know where to fold. Fold it 1.5 inch mark all around. Now that you have it folded, you're going to fold it back inside itself and serge along here. Make sure you leave a gap when you're sewing. If you've never done a hem like this, your mind may be blown. And if you don't have a serger, you can still use this technique. You just use a blind hem stitch on your regular sewing machine. I find it easiest to sew inside the cuff. And there's your little midi. Totally forgot. You have to leave a gap. Oh my goodness. Leave a gap so you can get an elastic through. I'll just have to seam rip a little bit because I forgot. I'm just going to go and sew a seam on my sewing machine about 1/4 inch or 3/8 away from this seam we just made, and that's going to be the channel for my elastic. And now I'm just going to take a piece of 1/4 inch elastic and use a safety pin to feed it through the channel that we created. And you're going to need a 4-inch piece of elastic for this. So once you have it fed through, go ahead and zigzag stitch that together. Just make sure your elastic is not twisted. If anybody has an easy way to zigzag elastic together, let me know, because I always am seeming to be struggling with lining it up under my presser foot, especially with little stuff like this. And then just sew up that, finish sewing that channel that we made. But look how cute this is. Perfect gift for that new. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can catch the next one. See you then.